Good evening everyone, welcome to this meeting of the Cabinet on Monday the 16th of June 2025. May I remind everyone present that this meeting is being broadcast live via YouTube and the recording will be archived for future viewing. Can you all ensure, councillors and officers, that when you speak, you switch your microphone on, and when you finish speaking, switch it off. This is extremely important for the live stream to ensure that the cameras are pointing at the individual who is speaking. So item 1 on the agenda, any declarations of interest? No declarations of interest. To receive apologies for absence.
Thank you, Chair. We've received apologies from Councillor Fitzpatrick, Councillor Paul Walker and Councillor Louise Walker.
Okay, thank you. I've got those the wrong way around, but never mind. Declarations of interest we've done. To approve as the correct record of the public minutes of the meeting held on the 19th of May. You've all had a chance to read them. I'd like to move them. Can I have a seconder? All those in favour? Any against? Abstentions? Thank you. That's carried. Item 4, to consider any urgent business brought forward to the meeting under Rule 12. There are none. So we move on to item 5, forward plan. Andy.
Thank you, Chairman. This is the forward plan from the period of the 1st of July this year right the way through the 31st of October. Happy to take any questions on the forward plan.
Are there any questions? No? Good. Item 6, local heritage list preparation proposal. Tom.
Thank you, Chair. The purpose of this report is to provide a high-level action plan for prioritising and protecting local heritage assets through the creation of a local list. Heritage assets are defined as a building, a monument, site, place or area that is identified as having a degree of significance meriting consideration in planning decisions because of its heritage interest. There are two types, designated and non-designated. Designated assets include listed buildings and conservation areas, as well as registered parks, gardens and schedules of ancient monuments. Non-designated heritage assets can cover all types of assets, but more typically they are buildings and structures. The Council does not currently have a local list of non-designated heritage assets, and so therefore to support the identification of these, it is proposed that a local list is created, which will then support decision-making on planning applications, as well as being an evidence base to the local plan process. Appendix 1 of the report sets out the steps required to create and formally adopt a local list, and it's important to point out that the time required for these stages will depend on the engagement of local residents and interested groups as well. The recommendation is to endorse the project plan upon which a more detailed costed project plan can be prepared to inform further decision making and budget planning. Happy to take any questions on that, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. So the revenue budget variance for 2024-25 as at the end of quarter 4 is an underspend of 23k against the £16.79 million net budget. The areas seeing the highest pressures in 24-25 have been community open spaces and facilities with a net pressure of 247k. This is mainly as a result of increased contract grants maintenance costs, including tree works, and planning with a net pressure of 254k, which is largely relating to planning income shortfall. Although overspends are fully mitigated by underspends across other council services, These areas will continue to be monitored as high risk in 2025-26, and actions to address further pressures should be considered where appropriate. Included within the outturn position are 708k of approved revenue carry forwards, which relate to specific projects, many of which have been delayed during 2024-25. Cabinet is recommending to approve the transfer to the General Fund reserve of the small revenue underspend balance. The capital programme for 24-25 at Q4 sits at 9.726 million, with a further 259k that had previously been reprofiled into 2025-26 now being reversed back into 2024-25 at Q4. The year-end outturn is £8.936 million spend. This represents 27k overspend and a further 76 million, reprofiling of project budget into 2025-26. The update on the Treasury Management activity as at the 31st of March 2025 shows investment standing at 46.14 million, with investment returns from the start of the financial year having averaged 5.05%, with an overachievement of 607k against budgeted income. In line with Cabinet approval as at Q3, 500k of this overachieved income has been transferred to the capital programme earmark reserved to help mitigate the risk of future capital project costs, with the remainder to be transferred to the interest rate smoothing reserve. The strategic risk register is included as Appendix G to the report. Following the review of risk related to COVID-19, this has now been removed, with any residual risk now covered in the existing health-related risk. A new risk has also been added at Q4 related to local government reorganisation. The recommendations are set out as section 17 of the report. I'm happy to take any questions.
All those in favour? Any against? No, that's unanimous. Thank you, Dan. Item 8, Q4 performance report. Declan.
Thank you, Chair. This is a summary of the Q4 performance report, reviewing the Council's progress towards achieving its corporate priorities between January and March of 2025, along with the latest updates on the leisure contract and the Towns Fund programme. Starting with the corporate plan and looking at all 102 targets, performance for Q4 is as follows: 87.25% green, 5.88% amber and 6.86% red. The corporate plan contained a number of targets to be agreed post-outturn, which can be found in Table 5. The detailed breakdown of all the percentages align with the Council's corporate priorities and across each Cabinet portfolio can be found in the tables on pages 7 and 8 of the covering report. The red and amber targets are set out in the tables on pages 9 through 13, with Appendix 1 providing further detail on all indicators, including comments for each target to explain any ongoing challenges or updates. The report then moves on to the leisure contract, detailed in section 6 of the covering report, which remains a positive area of performance, with 78 green, 0 amber and 0 red indicators. Section 7 provides a summary update on the Towns Fund programme, where all 3 partner projects remain either on track or completed, with positive RAG ratings across delivery, spend and risk. That concludes the summary of the Council's Q4 performance, and we recommend the approval of the 25-26 targets outlined in Table 5. Any questions?
Are there any questions? I like meetings like this. Thank you. Well, the recommendations are to consider performance at the end of the fourth quarter of the 24-25 financial year towards achieving the Council's corporate priorities and leisure services contract and the Towns Fund programme, and to agree the 2025-26 targets as detailed in Table 5 of the report. I'll move that. Can I have a seconder? Thank you, Ali. All those in favour? Thank you. That's carried unanimously. And we move on to item 8, Q4 performance report. Declan. I've done that. Sorry. So now oh yeah. So I now have to therefore move that in accordance with section 100A, section 4 of the Local Government Act 1972, the press and public be excluded from the remainder of the meeting, as it is likely in view of the nature of the business to be transacted, or the nature of the proceedings, that there would be disclosed exempt information as defined in paragraph of part 1 of schedule 12A of the Act, indicated in brackets before the item number on the agenda. I so move. Can I have a seconder? All in favour? Thank you. So we're now moving to